Clark, I'm glad you were able to take off some part of your busy coronavirus day, taking off from work, to ask us if we like horses better, cows, pigs, or chickens. Well, I will definitely say that I don't like horses because as a kid, I remember I was out riding a horse with my neighbor, and I had to be 5 or 6 years old, and I fell off the horse. Really, probably the horse threw me off. And my friend, who was a lot older than me, probably more like a babysitter, picked me up and carried me back to my parents' house. And I remember laying there, like in my mom's arms, listening to everybody talk about what happened, and I couldn't talk to anybody. Like, I couldn't wake up. Like some people say, I might have been in a coma. So you can ask your dad what he thinks about me maybe falling off a horse and hitting my head. He may have a couple comments about that. And I wouldn't say cows, and here's why. Cows are not the greatest leaders in the world, okay? Like you'll see, cows are always surrounded by fences. Cows don't live in the open, okay? They don't live in the wild, okay? Where bison do. And cows, like when it storms, cows will go and run and stand under trees. Well, out in the field, where does lightning strike? It strikes a tree and it kills all your cows under the tree. Again, not very smart. The other part that cows do, if they're in a big open field, the cows will like just stand there and wait till this big storm comes over. And then as soon as the storm gets above them and it starts raining, that's when they decide to do something about the storm. And then they start moving in the direction of the storm under the storm. Meaning they end up staying in the storm longer because they continue to walk or run along in the same direction of the storm. Where if you're going to be anything like a cow or a bison or something, be the bison, okay? Bisons can't be caged, okay? You have to have serious fencing for a bison because they'll herd up together and go through the fence, okay? That's why, where your dad went to school, where your dad went to college, they were bisons. Their mascot is the bisons because they're the leaders. But what bisons do, they see the storm coming and immediately charge towards the storm. And if the wind adjusts inside of the storm, they'll start going in the opposite direction of the storm to make sure they're in the storm the least amount of time. That's what you want to be. You want to be in a bison, you want to charge towards the storm and be in the storm the least amount of time versus a cow who continues to mosey and stays in the storm because they just go and run and walk right along with the storm. Stay out of the storm. Be like a bison. Pig, again, bad experience riding a pig. So we had a tame pig. So my granddad would take me, he'd throw me on top of this pig, and we could ride around, but then the pig would get tired of us being on his back. So he would run towards the water, run towards a creek. And it would get in a creek, and we'd be trying, pulling our legs up. And then it would go up under a limb, and the limb would clothesline us off of the pig, and we would land in the creek. So I would say no pig. But chickens, I like chickens. I mean, don't you like Chick-fil-A? Do you go to Hattie B's? Yep. Popeye's chicken. Have you had that new sandwich? It's good stuff. So I would have to say chickens. And I remember when I was a kid, my mom would send me to the chicken coop to get fresh eggs. And I had all kinds of pet chickens, and I would give pet chickens away to my friends. And I even had chickens who were so tame that they would lay in my lap, and they enjoyed laying in my lap just kind of like a cat because it was all warm. And I'll send you a photograph of me about your age with my pet chicken in my lap. Thank you for the question.